Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, welcome to the 5th edition of the Your Questions, My Answers series, where I just answer a bunch of questions that you've either left in the comment section or that you've sent me directly. So let me just go ahead and give you guys a few updates. Somebody had asked me, where have you been? And this was before the Whitney review that I made. I'd been kind of MIA for all of December and some of January. And I don't like telling all my business, but I will just share that there was a family emergency, and I had to go back home for about a month, and, you know, I wasn't coming back until things were kind of straightened out, and fortunately, everything worked out. But I tell you what, I was on that plane boo-hooing on the way over there, because it wasn't looking too good. And, yeah, so, but I tell you, you have a totally different outlook on life when, you know, you're told that a certain individual was dying, and, you know, you think it's the end, and then they actually pull through, and they come back with a vengeance, and then you, like, when you get back to your reality or wherever you live at, it's like you see the world so differently. Like, I got back here, I was like, man, I'm quitting my job because life is too short for this BS. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to... Like, I just see everything so differently right now. And, yeah, but I would say I'm very glad that things went the way they went because, like, December was horrible for us. Like, I spent New Year's and Christmas in the hospital just all day having to eat that nasty hospital food. And I'll tell you one thing. If you wasn't going to get halfway killed off in the hospital, that food, if anything, would finish the job for you. It would finish you off because that was some of the nastiest, unseasoned... Oh, I was going through it having to eat that all the time. I was like, man, I even lost weight. And I'm like, that's supposed to be you at home chilling. You know, you usually gain weight when you go visit, you know, relatives and stuff. Not at all. I got to freaking go drink some protein powder or something, put some weight back on. Anyway, moving on. So, oh, let me tell you what else. I'm pissed too. Like, freaking, I woke up today just knowing that I was not going to have to go to work because, you know, the news has been talking about this blizzard and all the snow and, you know, everybody's going to get hit with this much. And I knew that they said DC wasn't really going to get hit with a lot, but I was like, I'm sure we'll still get a few inches. So last night, I was up all night, didn't go to bed early, chilling, watching marathons and stuff. I'm catching up on Netflix movies, and I'm like, yeah, you know, we ain't got to go to work tomorrow. We're going to be snowed in, and I was thinking about my pancake breakfast I was going to make. Then I woke up this morning because, of course, you know, I went to bed thinking it was going to be like a winter wonderland, and I was just going to see all nothing but white and whiteness outside because white is right when you're talking about the weather. And I looked out that window, and it was dry. The streets were dry. Traffic just flowing along. I was like, dang. Long story short, I was late for work today. Anyway, so to the questions. Somebody had asked me in one of the videos, they were saying that I had been silent about the Bill Cosby thing. And what did I think about the Bill Cosby situation? And for me, like, that is such a hard discussion to have. Because you don't want to have it, you know, kind of like the same way white people run away from conversations about race. That's how I feel about this Bill Cosby thing. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it. But I'll say it's hard to really see him in that light because you don't want to, and because I think it's so hard to separate the Cliff Huxtable character from Bill Cosby because people are like, well, no, they're two different people. You have to separate them. But I always say that Bill Cosby wrote the Cliff Huxtable character around his own life. So even though Cliff Huxtable is a character, it's still Bill Cosby to me in one aspect. Now, I'm not going to say whether he's guilty or not, but dang it, Bill, when you got 20 plus women coming after you, it's real hard to, you better Olivia Pope something. And I mean, there could be a chance that maybe there's some conspiracy and everybody's plotting against him, but it's just not looking good. And because this is something that's been following him for the last 20 years, and I'm not talking about, you know, the cases, but I'm just talking about, actually I'm talking about the cases, but I'm talking more so people coming out and making statements over the years, over the last 20 years, it's hard to believe that maybe these things did not happen. I would hate to believe that they did, but I was like, dang it, Bill. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot going on with the situation, and it kills me to see this happen because it's messing up my Cosby reruns. You know, I can only watch it on like 2 channels now. I can't watch it on TV Land no more because they pumped out in like a week. Same thing with Homeboy from 7th Heaven. They yanked down 7th Heaven so fast. Like, 7th Heaven is my therapy show. Like, so when all this crap going on in Ferguson and stuff happened, I watch 7th Heaven to help remind me that everybody in this world is not evil, and even people who don't look like me have hearts. Like, stuff like that. So that pissed me. Oh, anyway. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, long story, long, crazy process, and hopefully things work out. You know, if he's guilty, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Bill. You're gonna have to serve your time, even though everything is, you know, covered by statute of limitations, and most of these cases are from 30 years ago. Hey, that's your legacy you tearing up. But we'll see what happens. Julius Caesar, listen, man. You always comment, but I can't respond to your comments because you have the setting where I can't respond. So he asked if I had moved, And yeah, I moved about a month ago. The crazy thing though is that 2 days after I moved, I had to go home because of the stuff going on with my family. So it's like I'm finally just now getting to enjoy the place I live in now. So you know, it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's still got like the brand new apartment smell because they just built it. Cool. Anyway, moving on. Let me tell you what got on my nerves too. So the Usher concert review that I made. In the review, I talked about how I wasn't too big of a fan with the August Alsina as an opening act. And I said it was mainly because, one, I just thought a lot of his antics were distasteful. It just wasn't in good taste as an opening act. Overall, his music is cool. He sounded good. But I just thought it was kind of tacky that he was up there using so much profanity, and I didn't like that he had them half little naked stripper girls on stage and crap like that. And there's nothing against any of that because August can do that. But in my opinion, August can do that when he's in his own element with his own demographic, with his own fan base. When you're an opening act and you're opening for somebody who is universal like Usher, because even though Usher is a little bit older and he's getting a little bit washed up, Usher has universal appeal, all right? You're not going to hear them playing August Alsina at the company Christmas party, but they'll definitely play Usher, yeah. So August Alsina's purpose was to, as a new act when you're opening for somebody on an arena tour, that you're supposed to introduce yourself to all the various different groups of people that may not be associated with you as a music act. So I felt like he alienated a lot of those audiences just by the things that he did on stage. Like, it was such a weird demographic because there were a lot of kids there were a lot of like corporate people there who had like their company tickets, and during August's set, they were just kind of like, okay, right. So, you know, August can do what he wants. He can do whatever he wants. But when you're opening for somebody else, you have to also know their audience. You have to kind of be mindful of, you know, what's appealing. Usher has an older audience than August Alsina. So the things that he was doing, yeah, the girls in there were loving that. But it was like one type of people that were liking his set. Like one group of people that were engaged in his set. Everybody else in there was getting popcorn and stuff. Like, so that was just my opinion. And then people were saying that I was lying when I said it was empty. I'm like, I didn't have to lie about it. Like, when there's black curtains up there and stuff is sectioned off, hey, I'm not trying to clown Usher because I said it was probably one of the best concerts I've been to. Unfortunately, it wasn't as sold out as I wanted it to be. And on top of that, I think maybe these people that were commenting may have gotten there after I did, and they came in when the lights were already down. But I'm saying when the lights were up, you saw all them blue seats in the Verizon Center, whole sections, just pockets of 15 and pockets of 20 where there's nobody sitting. Now, I'm sure he still had at least 8,000 or 9,000 people in there, but the way that stage was set up with the in-stage setup, it probably could have at least fit 13. But I'm not trying to knock Usher. Usher had a really great show, and I'll leave it at that. But he can keep that song he got with, what's that song about the girl being a stripper and he don't mind? He can keep that. That song is trash. But I do like Usher. Moving on. Oh, what else? I had a field day in some of these comments with some of you people. Well, not you people. Y'all, we're tight. I'm talking about these people who are not subscribed to my channel, who just be thinking they understand my thinking process. The Light Girls documentary. I just did a review on that one. And a lot of people, I think, didn't grasp the concept of what I was trying to say in my review. And a lot of people took it as me being not being as sympathetic to the issue. People were trying to tell me I missed the mark with the documentary, I missed the point. I'm like, no, I didn't. I was exactly right in what I said. In my opinion, I think the documentary dropped the ball on what it was supposed to do. And get this, somebody was like, when you do a review of a documentary, you don't talk about what you didn't like. You talk about the good stuff. It's like, what kind of mess with reviews you've been looking at? But anyway, here was my issue with the Light Girls documentary. The thing was, the Dark Girls documentary was able to accomplish what it needed to accomplish because people already sympathize with the idea that darker skinned women have lots of complexes that they deal with being darker skinned women and dealing with the way that things are in society. However, when you flip it and you talk about lighter skinned women, it's really hard for a lot of people to believe that lighter skinned women have some of these issues because they're looking at the experience of darker skinned women and comparing it to light. And they're like, well, look, this is what they're dealing with. There's no way that your experience can be even worse. And the purpose of that documentary was to defeat that way of thinking. It was supposed to open the eyes of the viewer to the point where they would understand that these are the issues that light-skinned women deal with, and even though it's not on the same, it's a different set of experiences from a dark-skinned woman, they still have things that they deal with. And in my opinion, when you make a documentary on such a subject that is so sensitive and has so many layers and elements, your audience shouldn't have any questions left. I was able to make a 14-minute review about what I missed out on watching it. So clearly all the questions weren't answered. in my opinion. So it wasn't a thing of me like not being sensitive. I just think there could have been a better job of doing it. And I certainly agree that there's a lot of different, issues and setbacks that lighter skinned women deal with. But I don't think the documentary did a good job of explaining that. And they didn't do a good job of explaining the root of the problem. Because people are like, they did talk about this, they did talk about that. And I'm like, there's a difference between talking about something and saying it in a sentence or two, and then actually expounding upon why that subject or that talking point is even being addressed. There's a difference between just mentioning a quick, the KKK and the paper brown paper bag test, dang, and actually talking about how that affects us today. Like they did a quick mention of something that happened in 1950, whatever, and a quick mention of a few slaves in the house Negro and the field Negro, blah blah blah. And anyway. And then they fast forward to 2015, and they didn't talk about any of the chaos that goes on in between times that lead into why things are the way they are now. So that was my opinion on that. So some people missed that, and I was like, whatever, y'all just miss it. But in my opinion, I just think that the documentary did not do what it needed to do. And as I said earlier, I feel like at the end, it literally confirmed everything that was being said in the Dark Girls documentary. You left the Light Girls documentary empty-handed, and I felt like it made everything so divisive. By the time it went off, it was this person versus that person, and Twitter was a mess. All right, and so that's my opinion on that. Somebody asked, when is R&B's dead? You keep saying it's coming. When are you gonna make it? Listen, I'm gonna make it right after I make this video. So if you can hang it up late enough, R&B is dead part 11 will be out. Another question. Somebody was asking me about my thoughts with the NFL and are they too hard on certain players. And heck yeah, like the thing with Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman, I really started getting my nerves because I feel like the NFL stays going after these people. And in my opinion, I feel bad. Like that book, Little $40 Million Slaves, is so real because I look at these athletes and how they get treated so terribly sometimes. Yes, they're making a lot of money, and yes, they're doing all this, but the dignity and the way that they get treated, it's like they're just owned by these people in suits, and it just drives me crazy. Like Marshawn Lynch gets fined for any and everything, and I'm not just saying all this because I'm a big Seahawks fan, and because I'm from Seattle, so don't try to say I'm a bandwagon because I've been with them forever. But because look, I go back to when Ricky Watters was still playing, but they just do them wrong. And my thing is, at the end of the day, it's the players that are breaking the money for the NFL and for the NBA and all these other sports leagues. Like, honestly, if it were me, if I was Marshawn Lynch or Richard Sherman and there was enough backing and support, I'd be like, F the NFL. I would start my own league. Like, and I even heard him talk about that in the 7 a.m. documentary, which you should all see when you get a chance. But literally, it's like people forget these people in these suits are like just so over the top with how they do things, and people are like, oh no, they have to listen to them because it's contract. F you and your contract. I'm the one making the money. If I stop playing, you stop making money. Plus, at the end of the day, you're making so much more money than I am, and you're not doing nothing but sitting in the office. I'm the one getting crushed and rammed in the head by somebody that's 300 pounds every week for freaking 20 weeks, and then I got to do it all over again, and my whole body's all broke up, and I got all these brain injuries by the time I'm 39. Get out of here. So yeah, they're full of crap with that, especially. Marshawn Lynch and the whole thing with the not speaking to the media. If I lose a game, I don't feel like talking to y'all. I'm pissed that I lost, and because I already got anger problems probably, because my head hurts and I got a million concussions, it's best if I just go to the locker room and change. And y'all all up in my, you got the camera all in my face, I'm trying to change, I just want to get to my car, y'all got the camera and that bright light and the boom mic all in my face. I don't feel like talking to y'all. So I like that he's just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Oh, Marshawn Lynch, you had a great game, can you tell us that? I'm grateful. Oh, so can you tell us about that? I'm grateful. I would do the exact same thing. So, yeah, F all these people in these sports leagues treating these players like that. They need to stand up more. That's why I was irritated with them during the Don Imus thing when they're like, oh, I'll just flip my, was it Don Imus? Yeah. I'll just flip my jersey inside out, but I'll keep playing. F that. I wouldn't have played no game that day. You was going to lose your money. All right? Go on strike. Do something, but whatever. But hey, when the money's good, you put up some BS, I guess. Somebody else also asked me when I made the video about the guy that hit the girl on the train. This girl didn't believe me when I said I would never have a reason to really put my hands on a woman. She was like, so you mean to tell me if a girl is embarrassing you, she's doing this, she's doing that, you still wouldn't hit her? No. Look, listen, I work with children, okay? That is the most patient job in the world because children will push each and every one of the living last buttons that you may have. Like the line is here, they jump over, do a backflip, spit on it, smoke a cigarette, spit it out, step on it, smash it right into that line, and then they freaking do hopscotch on it. Like, kids will drive you crazy. And working with kids for all these years, it teaches you how to deal with basically everybody. It teaches you to deal with adults. So I don't think I'd be in a position where I gotta knock some girl out on the train. She definitely got what was coming to her, because I would have, Lord, I'm not saying I would have hit her, but I would have definitely had a cousin or a female sister, friend, somebody come and find her. Oh yeah, she got off at the 42nd Street stop. She's still over there if you hurry up. Okay? Strategy. I ain't gotta hit you. I can get somebody else to do it though. Moving on. There's a lot of these, but I don't want this video to be too long. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop, because I'm gonna get some other things. Oh, yes, and his hair. Let's talk about this. Man, listen. My hair was getting so long. Like, it was real long. Like, it was long enough where the part, I could turn it and tie it back. And I was like, okay, it's too long. So I went to the barber shop, and I was like, you know, can y'all cut like half of it off? Because it's just getting too much, and it's becoming too much to deal with and manage, and plus, I think it was breaking me out because of the chemical and stuff. That's why I'm over here looking like freaking connected dots right now. I gotta get this together. So it's green tea and cocoa butter for like a month. And man, I went to the barber shop. I told him to cut off half. This dude, he looked at the, you know, on the, because I used to cut my own hair. On the clippers, each of the grills has a little measurement thing, so to say, like 1/8 or 3/4 or 1/2. He looked at the one that said 1/2 on the grill and really did that. So he really went and cut down to 1/2, and that 1/2 is like, I think 1/2 of an inch. I was like, what the hell? Man, he did that first little zzzz, and I just saw like a whole thing fall on the floor. I'm like, I know. And then at this point, I was like, you know what, just cut the rest off. Don't even worry about it. No, you know, man, we can make this work. You know, I can. Nah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just cut it off. Just cut it off. That's fine. I'll go back to looking like I'm 17 again. But anyway, I'm out. Those of you who are asking about the R&B is Dead video, it's coming as soon as I upload this one. All right, I'm out. And go Seahawks.